Do you find yourself thinking, man, I wish somebody would have told me that? Well, that's what this segment's gonna be all about. This is How's Housing News, real estate news in Las Vegas, just for you. Stick with me, folks. I think you'll enjoy this. Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Rob Howe, and I am all about houses and you. So if you're looking for a real estate agent, well, now you know how. That's me, Rob Howe. And of course, I would like you to sign up for this channel and check out all my other social media. You can find me under ROCKSTAR Realtor or Rob Howe, that's H-A-U. And I'm gonna start this out saying, you know, do you find yourself thinking, man, I wish somebody would have told me that? Right? Sometimes we miss the news that's out there. So I'm gonna go over a few points that I feel like are very important right now. And especially in Las Vegas, some of this will get into national news, actually. I'm gonna actually credit my man, David Williams. Every time I get around this guy, you know, it's like we start bubbling. He's always got great ideas, great thoughts. And he's had this one forever, but it's actually sort of happening right now. And we're always joking about this horror movie, The Night They All Fell Out of Escrow. Dun, dun. And that is a horror movie for sure for any seller and certainly their agent. When there's a buyer fallout, you have a property you're selling and that property falls out of escrow. Well, guess what, folks? Right now, the cancellation rate is very high. So buyers will get involved in properties sometimes, and then they end up backing out of the property for whatever reason. A lot of this has to do with that people are finding it harder to qualify. They are changing their minds much more right now. People are just saying, you know, this information that I'm hearing out there, especially with what you're doing right now, social media is more of a factor than ever. And a message can get out like right now is a horrible time to buy. Which I don't know that you should be telling people that. And I'm gonna get into a couple of things, like I'm gonna tell you who's buying. That's a little bit of news I'm gonna bring to you. Who is buying right now and why are they doing it? If you're buying, you already know why you're doing that. But the properties falling out of escrow is an issue for sellers right now, on top of other issues. So I'm gonna go through a few things. You know, I like to mix in what I think is positive news. I am seeing certain media try to, you know, get into positive things. I definitely have seen agents, which again, I think is on a level of hopium sometimes, because everybody wants to make some money in the future. So they don't want to talk too badly about the market. And they're like, yeah, this is, you know, everything's great. Well, listen, not for everybody. It's not everybody's time to sell, and it's not everybody's time to buy right now. That's something that you have to make the judgment on. And I hope what I'm talking about helps you do that. So there is suppressed buyer demand right now. That is what we're dealing with, and certainly coming out of December into January, and I think even as we move into January and February, those are typically slower months anyway, but we have really suppressed buyer demand. Lowest mortgage demand since 2014. And in 2014, I think everybody would have loved to buy a house, or 10, because now the prices have gone up quite a bit. And, you know, this is the perspective I think most people need to hold on to. If you bought certainly years back and you have a lot of equity that has gone up, you're excellent. You're in great shape and you can do whatever you want. And the only thing is it's a little harder to sell right now, and you might have to offer some incentives. And that is a little hidden bit of information that I would like to tell you. This is some news that not everybody sees or understands, but when we see the median price dropping, yes, we see that. It's not dropping like a rock, but hidden in those prices that are, you know, people are selling their homes at are a lot of concessions. And certainly the builders did those concessions in a major way. Okay, so you have to remember that there is another value loss hidden in behind there. And for buyers, this is a great thing. This is not going to last forever, where you're going to get a great deal on a property as far as the price, where sellers willing to come down, and that they're going to pay for concessions. The thing that you have to deal with now is the interest rate and the fear that prices are going to drop more. But I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that as we go along. And again, who's buying and why? The few that are out there buying are buying for specific reasons from what I see. Inventory is going to spike. Now it actually went down, and it may stay a little flat in January, but as we enter into spring, this is news, folks, that you need to know. Inventory is going to go up. It's going to go up as we enter. I'm seeing it go up in certain sectors, seeing a lot more luxury listings come on, and not necessarily a whole bunch of luxury buyers. Here's something that I'll attach to that. Bit of news for you is that some wood luxury buyers are doing a smart move right now. This is something for you to think about. I think you should maybe emulate it if you can in your own way. So check it out. A buyer that's looking at the luxury market right now, maybe thinking, you know what, that interest rate's really high on a 1.5, 2 million, whatever, multi-million-dollar property. And the jumbo loans are a little tighter to get and all that. But maybe I have to move to Las Vegas. So maybe what I'll do is I've got this cash and I'll buy a lower price property. I'm going to take the risk and just live in a little bit lower, definitely go conservative here, and temporarily buy a nice property, but not the luxury property that I was looking for. Now you buy this property, you live in it for a little while. Because you bought it with cash, you probably bought into the future of the market. In other words, you were able to wrestle a good price, and you're not so worried about the prices going down because you're going to hold on to that property for a while, and you're going to go ahead and when you can, when things are a little better to use a mortgage, you're going to buy your next property, a luxury property, at a better rate, and probably when the prices had stabilized at a lower level. Now you've got a rental property that you move out of that you bought in cash, and now that property actually returns income. I'm seeing that happen. I'm certainly seeing people decide to just go ahead and buy a lower price property. They feel like lower price is going to drop less than a higher price. So like, I was thinking about $800,000 house. Maybe I'll go for a not quite what I want, 350, 400 house, and I'm insulated a little bit. So people are doing that quite a bit. And it's hedging your bet. So that's something to think about. So I have to be very honest. It's more than likely that for many people, buying may not be right now because the interest rate has pushed some people out of buying property, the concerns ahead, as I've talked about. But I would be making plans, as I am personally, to take advantage of what is going to be ahead. So there's never a better time than right now to start making those plans and getting ready, because your opportunity may lie ahead. And certainly that's where I think it's going to be. Now, we have to judge these things, of course, as we go along, but I'd like you to be thinking in that direction. If you don't like what's happening now, certainly prepare and be ready. The more prepared you are, the more you're going to be able to take advantage of what's there. So again, cash buyers, you're up to bat. At any point in time, I think you're safe to get involved in this market, especially for your primary residence and down the road for investment opportunities. That is going to definitely open up. I talk about this all the time, that investors were the first to get involved in the market when it dipped after the 08 recession or Great Recession. And they were the first to get involved because they feared less. For whatever reason, investors are a little more, they just got a little more stones there and they feared less. So they will be the first to get up to bat and get opportunities in this market. Remember that. Try to look at this objectively if you're interested in purchasing real estate or even selling real estate, because cash can buy into the future. So who is buying right now? I'm going to tell you who's buying right now. Cash buyers, of course, and deal shoppers. Definitely out there trying to buy. Even the dreaded iBuyers and these investors are trying to buy property at an extreme low price now. They're still active out there. they have not gone silent, because if they can get a property at a deep enough discount, they're going to pawn shop that property. They're going to buy it from you super cheap because you're desperate to sell, and then they're going to go ahead and either hold on their property, rent the property, or resell the property. Relocations. This is news I want to jump into really quick. We do have a problem with California, because California is definitely seeing a deeper problem in their real estate market in certain areas. In particular, I'm going to get into an article here, and I'll give you a link down below to that article about the 4 worst areas in the country right now. Is Las Vegas on that list? You want to know? You're going to find out. You know, relocations. Of course, people relocating from other states, they're kind of forced. And some of those people did have a hard time selling their home and are still trying to get here. Maybe they got it done and they're coming on over. And also, people took the break for the holidays and now think, now, new year, new me, let me get to a new city. I'm going to start doing that. Are they coming out in droves? No, because they can't. And that's part of the issue. Is like California, we get a big infusion of our buyers coming from there. But if they're having a problem selling their property, then the train is held up at the station. But also, I've ran into this a lot in my career. There are just people who are homeowners. They will not rent. Even in a market that they feel like they're buying into that could be a little shaky or whatever they're hearing, like right now, they're not going to rent. They're just not going to do it. They are not renters. This is important to remember. There are always home owners, people who want to own homes ready to buy, and people buying under their means, as I mentioned before, which means that they could buy a bigger, larger property, more expensive property, but they're choosing, if they have to, again, they might be one of these people who are typically homeowners and they do not want to rent. If they have to, they'll temporarily live in a property temporarily, you know, maybe a year, 2, 3, whatever, in a smaller home, in a less expensive home than what they were originally maybe qualified for, and things like that. So those are some of the people that are buying. Important to know that stuff. Something that a friend of mine, Jeff Matthews, mentioned is, when is the best time to buy a home? And the answer is 5 years ago. So always remember that. It does seem like, except for few exceptions, the best time you could have bought a home was 5 years ago. It couldn't be more true right now. I still think people buying right now, as long as they're setting up themselves in a way that makes sense, in 5 years, they're going to be happy they bought. I believe that wholly. I'm not telling you should get out there and it's like some crazy great deal time just yet, but boy, these sellers sure are willing to give you what you want and get you happy. So if you can marry the house and date the rate for a short period of time, get a better rate down the road, might not be a bad idea. People are looking at that. Real quick, this is what you're here for, is actual news that I'm going to be able to put some links down in the bottom. And I'm going to start off with this Better Homes and Gardens email that I get quite often. I think it's once a week. The reason why I'm showing this to you, I'm not going to there's a whole bunch of links inside of this email, and it's great. It's a whole, if you want to know about multiple things that are happening, whether it's mortgage rates, Las Vegas cheapest and most expensive home sales. There's a CNN report about 2022 hitting record highs in prices, which we did. And we've come off those, of course. The interesting thing, and that I'm showing you right here, is that most of this is positive. Most of this is positive news that you're seeing here. Mortgage rates in US drop again in January. Yes, rates have been extremely volatile, and I'm going to get into another email that I get that describes this in more detail. Home prices post small increase as mortgage rate drop attracts buyers. So these are all very positive signs right here. Very positive email. I'm surprised a little bit by this because every single one that I've gotten before this one was all negative. And I've been meaning to show this, to actually do this little screen share and show people what I've been seeing every month. So I'm going to start doing this because I kind of got late to the train. I should have shown you the last one that I got. It doesn't matter. Just take my word for it because it was all negative, all awful. That's kind of why I wasn't excited to show it. But I also wanted to see the change. And now we have the change. They're trying to shed light and let people know that there is maybe some positivity on the horizon. I see a lot of mixed bag right now, but that's a great one. You should sign up for Better Homes and Gardens real estate email if you can. And again, there'll be a link. Okay, this is actually from the Daily Wire. My mother sent this to me, but I thought this was a great article, at least in the Goldman Sachs eyes. They recently informed their clients that it expects home values to tank in 4 major cities. And immediately I'm like, okay, Las Vegas is going to be on the list, right? No, Las Vegas is not on the list, but these are the areas that are on the list. San Jose, California, absolutely went through the roof with their prices, and they are on the list to drop up to 25% or more. They are one of the top cities to drop. San Diego, California. Love San Diego. I absolutely love San Diego, but it is set to, at least in Goldman Sachs' mind, to be one of the top 4 to go not in a good way. Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas is another place. I've always said I wanted a property in San Diego, California, and Austin, Texas in my lifetime. And Austin, Texas, boy, I really missed the boat on that one because they exploded over there, and it's a wonderful town, but it's really gone up, and this is another area that they're saying that will drop the most out of the 4. And one that I would find a little bit as a surprise, only because I think it's very similar to Las Vegas, but maybe doesn't have the same growth expectation that Las Vegas has, and that same excitement of people wanting to go there, is Phoenix, Arizona. So they're saying that could see a crash on the level of 2008. I don't know that we'll see that kind of a level because you got to have the worst stuff, foreclosures and short sales. Look, even when I got into the business and the market was a wreck, I could sell to investors. I was doing short sales. I could make money in the business. Right now, there are agents out there that are starving because there's just no business for them. You don't have these distressed sales going on. So, and if we start seeing that, of course, I'll report that. But I think we're quite a ways off from that. And for them to say that in 2023 that they could see these crashes of 25% or worse, that's a little scary in these areas. We will keep them in our minds and see if this actually happens. Now, finally, I get some emails from some lenders, and some of them I really enjoy because they give me some details on what's happening and what's happening with certainly mortgage rates, with the bond market, a number of detailed items. This one just came in before I did this video, so I thought I'd throw in there. Mortgage bond prices finished the week near unchanged. The mortgage bonds, that's what kind of makes things go up and down in the interest rate, in the mortgage market interest rate. The interest rate is not set by the Fed. I know I talk about it all the time because it does follow the Fed. If the Fed goes up, then mortgage rates naturally go up too. But it is more set to the mortgage bond prices. So they held flat. However, considerable volatility continued throughout the week. So we've had a lot of like this with mortgage rates. And I think that's going to continue. It is a problem there. When you see the articles of people saying, oh, well, mortgage rates dipped, so everybody dove in. I think more people might have, but it's not like crazy. So, I think, look, everybody wants to get business and give you something positive. So it's better than getting it at the high, that's for sure. You can check that out. I do suggest that you find yourself a great lender that can put you on an email list if you want to know about what's happening with mortgage rates. I like to help my clients do that. And I, tell them here, even if you're not using this lender, he or she gives great information and you just get an email from them. Why not do that? I appreciate you watching How's Housing News today. I'm going to bring you more of this, and I always bring news every time I have it. Check out more of my YouTube videos. I'm redoing all my Summerlin South videos. If you want to see tours, neighborhood tours of Summerlin South, I've got more of those coming. And of course, check me out on all my social media. I got some fun stuff that I do over there. If you like goofy stuff and staring at houses, I'm your guy. Remember, I'm all about houses and you. I hope you had a great time watching this video, and I will see you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Now you know how when you need a real estate agent.